Hello students, welcome back to our video. So in the last video we were discussing about the identification of transaction, whether it is a cash transaction or credit transaction. So today we are going to start with a new topic, that is voucher. Voucher means the pillar of accounting is voucher. First step to write accounts is voucher. Voucher is a written document of business transaction. The nature of transaction is determined through voucher. Purchase transactions, sales transactions, bank transactions, expense transactions, income transactions, assets transactions, payable transactions, etc. are determined on the basis of a voucher. A voucher is used as a written and authentic evidence for which two parties transaction is made, where one party is voucher giver and another party is a voucher receiver or acceptor. The same voucher has different purpose for both the parties. After recognizing the nature of transaction, transactions are recorded in the books of accounts or business as per the applicable rules of accounting. In the wide meaning of vouchers, the following can be included in vouchers. So, the types of vouchers is sales bill, means it is a voucher of sale of good. Purchase bill means it is a voucher of purchase of goods. Credit note means note for sales return. Debit note, that is note for purchase return. Counterfoil foil of check means evidence of check withdrawn from bank. Pay-in slip means voucher used to deposit cash in bank. Receipt issued means return certificate for amount received. 8 is receipt means return certificate for amount paid. Expense bills means it shows the evidence of expenses paid by check or cash. So, in short, we can say that voucher is a pillar of accounting. And according to voucher, means voucher is a written document and authentic evidence which shows that the two parties have made a transaction. And on the basis of voucher, the nature of transaction can be determined, whether it is a purchase transaction, sales transaction, bank transaction, expense transaction. So on the basis of voucher, nature of transactions can be determined. So these all were the types of voucher: sales bill, purchase bill, credit note, debit note, counterfoil of check, pay-in slip, receipt received, issued, receipt received, expense bills, which shows different evidence of transactions has made. For example, sales bills shows that voucher of sales of good. It shows evidence that the company or a business has sold goods to somebody, to the third party. Now, the second type is components of vouchers. These were types of vouchers. Second is components of voucher. So generally the following content or component is covered in voucher. Each component has significance from the viewpoint of accounting. So component of voucher means the content of voucher, means the voucher what contains, like what is covered in voucher. So first is name and address of voucher issuer. Second contains name and address of the voucher receiver. It has a date, serial number of voucher, amount in figures and words, signature of bill preparer, signature of bill receiver, type of voucher, and other details. Other details includes each voucher differs from other in certain context. Thus, the other details differ from each other. So, these all are the things which contains the voucher. These all things are included in vouchers. So voucher is a written document. Now the second next topic is dual effect of transaction. Dual effect means there is a double effect of each transaction. So under double entry system, as per its name itself, two entries means two entries are done for each transaction. So in a double entry system, as per the name suggests, give a clue that two entries. It includes two. Double means two. So two entries are done for each transaction under double entry system. Normally, business transaction is also between two parties. The transaction between these two parties may be of following matter. First is any person takes benefit of business or gives benefit to business. So any person will take benefit for himself or give benefit to the business. That is known as personal account. Second is increase or decrease in goods or assets. So in a transaction there would be any increase or decrease in goods or assets. That is known as real accounts. And third is either expenses is incurred or revenue is realized in the business. That is nominal accounts. So about three types of accounts. So there are three types of accounts. First is personal accounts, means any person is involved in that transaction, that is known as personal account. Then if there is any increase or decrease in assets or goods, that is known as real accounts. And if there is any expenses or revenue incurred or realized, that is known as nominal accounts. So about these three types of accounts, detailed explanation is given in point number 6. So it is given, detailed explanation is given afterwards. And the rules of incorporating effects in these accounts are foundation of accounting. True and appropriate understanding of these rules is true and appropriate understanding of accounting. So the detailed explanation is given afterwards. So let's move further. So as and when business transaction takes place, two effects emerges from it. These effects should be studied keeping in mind the above mentioned explanation. So whenever you are recording the transaction, it has two effects. So while recording the transactions, the above explanation that we discussed, if there is increase or decrease in assets, either expense is incurred or revenue is realized, and if any person is involved, all these three rules has to be kept in mind. So let us understand the dual effect of accounting with the following illustration. So this is one example to understand the double effect of each transaction. So illustration 3. Which two effects would take place for the following transactions? Explain. So this is a following transaction. There are 11 transactions. So first is Manoj commenced business with introduction of capital of 20,000. So we discussed that each transaction has two effects. So obviously this transaction would have two effects, but which two accounts are affected? Let's see that. This is a solution. So the first effect and the second effect. Okay. So the first transaction was Manoj commenced business with introduction of capital of 20,000. So transaction is business commenced with capital of 20,000. So the first effect would be Manoj commenced business with introduction of capital. So from this transaction you can assume that the Manoj has brought money in business. So it would be affect cash accounts because the Manoj has brought to capital of rupees 20,000. So from that you can identify that cash comes in because Manoj has brought, cash comes in. So the first effect would be on the cash account because cash is coming in the business. And the second effect would be owner introduced capital. Manoj has introduced capital. So the second account would affect would be capital account. So the business commenced with capital of 20,000 means 20,000 has been brought in business. So cash would come in. So it would be effect on cash account. And the second effect is Manoj commenced with introduction of capital. So capital has also a separate account. So owner has introduced capital. So there would be effect on capital account. You have to question yourself which accounts are affected in these transactions. So if you question yourself, then you will understand which accounts are affecting. So let's understand second transaction. Second transaction is the account is opened with the State Bank of India by depositing 40,000. So from this you can easily find out that the bank account is involved because account is open in bank account. So bank account is affected. So the first effect would be on the bank receiver, means there would be effect on the bank account. And the second account effect is cash goes out because the owner has opened a bank account and deposited 40,000. So obviously he or she would have deposited that money by taking money from the business. So cash goes out. So second effect would be on cash account. Third is Manoj has purchased goods worth of rupees 3,000 from Bhartiben. So purchased goods of rupees 3,000. So there is a separate account, separate of goods account. So goods comes in. So there would be effect on purchase account. Purchase account. And the second effect would be Bhartiben. So Bhartiben is a giver. So there would be effect on Bhartiben's account because Bhartiben is a person. So there would be a separate personal account of Bhartiben. So two accounts are affected, purchase account and Bhartiben's account. Fourth is Manoj sold goods worth of rupees 5,000 to Vipul. So Manoj has sold goods. So the first effect would be on the sales account. Goods of worth rupees sold to Vipul. So Vipul is a receiver, effect on Vipul's account. First effect. And the second effect, goods goes out of business because the business has sold goods to Vipul. So it means that goods goes out of business. So there would be effect on sales account. Then the fifth transaction is goods sold worth of rupees 2,000 for cash. So again goods is sold, but it is sold on cash. So the first effect would be on cash account because cash would be coming in. So cash comes in, then there would be effect on cash account. And the second effect, goods is going out. So effect would be effect on sales account. Sixth transaction is Manoj purchased furniture worth of rupees 1,500. So purchased furniture. So it means Manoj has purchased asset. So the furniture comes in. So if there would be effect on furniture account, and purchased means cash is going out. So and the second effect would be cash goes out. There would be effect on cash account. Then the seventh is commission paid. So the first effect would be on expense, because commission is paid, so it would be expense for the business. So the first effect would be on the expense incurred, so effect on commission account. And the second effect goes out, cash goes out, because cash has been paid, so it means cash goes out, so there would be effect on cash account. Then the eighth transaction is Vipul return goods of worth rupees 200. So goods sold comes in the business, like in the fourth which transaction, like in the fourth transaction you saw that the goods were sold to Vipul. So again the Vipul returned that goods of worth rupees 200. So the first effect would be goods sold comes in, so there would be effects on sales return account, because goods sold to Vipul, now that person is returning that goods, so it would be affecting sales returns account. And second effect would be on the Vipul is a giver, so there would be effect on Vipul's account. Ninth is goods return worth of rupees 150 to Bhartiben. Bhartiben, like in the earlier transaction, Bhartiben has given goods to business. So now business is returning that goods worth of rupees 150 to Bhartiben. So the first effect would be on Bhartiben is a receiver, so there would be effect on a Bhartiben's account, because Bhartiben is a person and every person has a separate account. And the second effect would be on goods goes out, means effect on purchase return account, because as goods is returned to Bhartiben means goods is going out, so there will be effect on purchase return account. Then the 10th transaction is check of 2850 issued to Bhartiben. So there would be a Bhartiben is a receiver, so effect one would be Bhartiben's account, and second is a check is involved, so bank is affected, so bank is a giver, so there would be effect on bank account. And the last transaction is Vipul gave check for 4,800. So bank is a receiver, so effect on bank account. And Vipul is a person, so there is a separate account for person's account. So Vipul is a giver, and there would be effect on Vipul's account. So after having knowledge of the first effect and the second effect of double entry system, let us take information about the types of accounts and their rules. Student friends, if you appropriately study the first effect and the second effect, it will be easy for you to understand the types of accounts and their rules. So I know it would be difficult for you right now, but as you study, like if you practice more and more, you will understand which accounts are affecting and how. So you all know that every transaction has two effects. So after, like if you practice more and more, you will understand which accounts are affecting and what types of transactions are made. So now we are going to stop here. In the next video we will be continuing further. So if you have any questions or any doubts, please feel free to comment below the video. Thank you.